I think it's been a lot of lessons that he's had to learn, and appreciating, understanding the pitcher he is today, and also appreciating the fact that you just can't give in to Lindor in that moment. And that's something that, is a learning lesson for Landon Knack from the other day. And so right there, that was the pitch of the game. Obviously, the crowd was into it. They were gaining momentum. And to get the breaking ball down below the zone and get a great hitter out was huge. And I think that's just kind of speaks to experience.
Fabian?
Yeah, just to follow up on that, were you surprised when you saw it was a curveball there, full count?
No, I was kind of thinking along with him. It was the right thing, and I thought, this entire postseason, I think Will Smith is doing a fantastic job catching the baseball, calling a game, not trying to get too predictable, and appreciating the game score and all that stuff. So he's done a great job with the starters, relievers, and it was just game management.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about Walker as he's just gone through this process, trying to figure himself out again and trying to figure out, all right, what works, what doesn't, and those kind of big spots?
I think a couple things. Obviously, he's sort of had to, I guess, reinvent himself. And I say that in a complimentary way, to still be a really good major league pitcher. Obviously, this year was very rocky, trying to kind of get back from a really major surgery. And, I think the other part of it is that, it's easy to be to ride when the wind's at your back. That has been when he's going and riding really well. But, when there's some adversity, you get kicked in the teeth and you lose confidence to then reset, to come back and still stick it out. That's something for me that I don't think he's ever had to do outside of having a surgery. So that's something for me that speaks to his character. And, you look at kind of in June or July, I don't think anyone could have seen him in this position right now. So it's a credit to Walker.
Mike in the third row.
Dave, how much did Kike's home run change the complexion of this whole game?
Immensely. We found a way to get lucky and score a couple runs early in that second inning. But for Kike to have that at bat, 8, 9 pitch at bat, get a ball up in the zone and hit a homer, that was huge. That was enormous. I thought it gave, Walker a little breathing room. I thought it allowed for me to use the pen. And then it allowed, guys like Shohei to kind of catch a breath and extend the lead. And obviously Max had a huge game, continues to get on base, gets big hits. But the Kike homer, biggest hit of the game.
And how much did Shohei's homer sort of change? Obviously, it changed how you use your bullpen tonight, but it seems almost more important moving forward.
It's important for Shohei, certainly, to build some confidence. I think that's number one. And number two, yeah, you mentioned, Mike, when you're in a long series, kind of not having to have Blake go back out there for another inning, not having to use Evan tonight or Hudson tonight, and then, allowing Ben Kasperius to go out there and give us 2 huge innings, those things matter.
Take 2 more for Doc right here in the front, and then go to Barry to finish up.
Understood he threw 90 pitches, but was Walker not going to face the lineup a third time?
Or?
I didn't say. I didn't know how the game was going to play out. I just felt that after each of the innings that he threw, there was a lot of stress, and so for me, that's all he had left.
And how was Freddie feeling?
Freddie's fine. I think we got through it, and my expectation is he'll be in there tomorrow.
Barry.
Hey, Doc, considering all the imaginations of what you've had to do with the pitching staff, what does it say that you have 4 shutouts now in the last 5 games against 2 of the best hitting teams in the National League?
Guys are, I think, Mark Pryor, Connor, Danny Lehman, Bardo in the pen, the players themselves, obviously. I mentioned Will, what he's doing, controlling and kind of, being the jockey for these pitchers. These guys are locked in, and they understand they have a job to do to prevent runs. And I think we're playing good defense, too. That's a big part of it, too, Barry.
So what does this do for your pitching moving forward?
We got Yamamoto and Jack, so I feel good where we're at right now.